Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Mercy, and it has been a while and I thought to resume with a hair update. So I decided to put out my hair. It has been a little bit over 4 years since I last showed my natural hair. No, not 4 years. I think I recently did a video last 2 years with my natural hair. So this is just an update. I'm just going to show you guys my length. We're just going to talk about a few tips, a few things I've learned throughout this journey. Now if this looks and sounds like something you might want to watch, then stay tuned.
Hardware is, you don't know about the computer, it's hard you to know about the computer. That's why you say hardware.
So people, previously I really thought my hair had made 7 years, so I had to go back. I actually had to go back to my YouTube channel and see the last time, the very first time I posted about my hair, because that was when I had just done a big chop, and that was in 2019. You do the math, it's not up to 7 years, it's not even up to 6 years, and that means this baby has been growing. And so the progress apparently is way more than I expected, because check this out guys, like look at the length. Like this is my natural hair, no products, no straightening, no whatsoever. I have the frizziest hair ever. I have 4C hair, so you can, this is the worst kind of hair any African hair owner can possibly have. So the very first tip I'm going to begin with, which according to me is the most important, is love your hair. I know many people who have so many negative things to say about their hair. Oh my god, my hair is so coarse, it cuts a lot, it's difficult to manage. But you need to begin with loving every part of your hair, from the curls, the coarseness, to the thickness, or the sparseness, whatever it is. Mind you, the journey is not an easy one, so don't expect it to be smooth. It's going to be difficult. You need to be in love with your hair, because that's the only way you'll have the motivation to go through the stress of handling it by yourself, or even the stress of having people around you be like, oh, go and relax that thing, it doesn't look so nice, it's not the best. Are you trying to scare people? It doesn't look presentable, it doesn't look professional, and all of that. You absolutely need to love your hair in order to be able to go through all those naysayers. My next tip would be to minimize how often you do things to your hair. I know you have 4C hair and you want to always style it, you want to always have it out, but that's not the best option for you. Have your hair out maybe once in like 3 months. I find that works out for me really well, because most of the time I have my hair in protective styles under my wigs. I rarely even have my hair braided, but when I do, I make sure I go to someone who will take their time to handle my hair, despite how frizzy and coarse and dry it can get. Basically, every time you undo your hair, every time you touch it, every time you let it loose, every time you do the slightest thing to your hair, you're going to lose strands. So over manipulating your hair simply makes the shed even worse, the breakage, the breakout even worse. So in order to have that to the bare minimum, just have your hair in protective styles, especially protective styles that don't require you over touching and over handling your hair, just to have the breakage to the bare minimum. Now this brings me to my next tip, which I think every naturalista should know this at this point, but I'm just going to mention it just in case. Handle your hair in sections. I think this cannot be overemphasized. If you're going to wash your hair, don't, as it's like this, don't get into the shower room and start washing directly. It's not the best idea. It's going to tangle really bad. So it's better to have it in sections. Maybe I would have it in small sections. If I want to comb it, I'll comb it in sections. If I want to wash it, I'll make sure it's washed in sections. If I want to moisturize it, I'll make sure the moisturization is done in sections. I think it makes things way easier to handle, and it reduces the risk of tangling. Now this is another point that I expect a good number of people to already know at this point. I'm still just going to mention it anyways, because I mean, you never know. That is to use a wide tooth comb for your hair. it's way better. It makes it a lot more manageable, and the shedding is brought to the bare minimum. I just cannot picture you having such coarse hair and using really tiny tooth comb. It doesn't make any sense, and it just makes you lose hair for nothing. You will barely see any retention of length. So white tooth comb all the way. And now to my final point for this particular video. Sleep and always use a satin bonnet or a satin head wrap or a satin head tie or a satin pillowcase or a satin bedspread. Using satin just reduces the possibility and the risk of having more loose ends and a lot of shedding and breakage. The better thing to use is satin. It just makes your life a lot easier. I'm sure if you use cotton bedspreads, head tie, whatever you use, you can, when you wake up, find some strands of your hair on the bed. That's a sign you have to stop doing that. You absolutely have to. In my personal case, since I usually have cornrows, before I sleep I always tie my hair with a satin head tie, and it just does the trick for me. But if you find that your head tie always comes out of your head when you sleep, then a satin pillowcase is a better way to go. Now this brings me to the end of this video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you'd like to see more hair maintenance tips, afro kinky hair, of course, 4C hair, super coarse, super kinky, super dry, super whatever, I'm your girl. Just let me know down in the comment section. I will be sure to create more of these. And thank you so much for liking, sharing, subscribing if you haven't already. See you in my next. Bye.